How could the world's largest island, barely populated, that is also covered almost completely in ice, be so important that even the United States offered to purchase it? Greenland is one of those areas most of us could point on a map, yet it had always remained the background of any discussion or lecture. But there's a good reason. Greenland is located in the North Atlantic, and it's almost 7 times larger than the British Isles, while only 56,000 people inhabit it. Except a few settlements and habitable areas on the edges, the whole surface is ice. Even that large, Greenland is not independent but an autonomous territory of the Kingdom of Denmark. Now you might think why there is a colony-like territory in the 21st century. Don't sweat though. Greenland has been moving further towards independence for years while Denmark subsidizes it annually with 3.9 billion kronas, which is around $600 million. Those subsidies make a major part of its budget. A huge part of its income is fish-related exports. It's not profitable for Denmark to subsidize it, but still, independent Greenland will have to give up those subsidies. Considering all of this, what's the sense then that in 2019 the United States and President Trump came out with the idea of purchasing it? Well, there's a lot hiding beneath the surface. Climate change is changing the world we know, while Greenland is at the forefront of those consequences. Their strategy is to go along with the change, support the search for possible mines in the melting ice, and profit from it. Danish geologist Minik Rosing confirmed that there's more to Greenland. There is also iron ore, there is a ruby mine, there is gold, there is platinum, and climate change does make sailing a lot easier. The island's possibilities are endless. The rest of us see climate change as worse and worse global consequences appear, though for Greenland it's the start of financial independence. Rosing continued, as technological innovations emerge and particularly as the Arctic sea ice dwindles, Greenland is changing its geographical and geopolitical status from a remote and inaccessible corner of the world to a center of world trade. In this way, Greenland is imperceptibly moving from the periphery of the world economic vision to the very center of attention. The search for resources on Greenland didn't go by world powers unnoticed. Australia and China are investing into mine exploration, while the US opened a consulate in Nuuk, its capital, to strengthen diplomatic ties with a possible purchase or annexation in the future. It has also struck deals with American, Danish, Canadian, and British companies for the extraction of oil. It seems like oil will be the driving force in the future of Greenland, with possible 56 billion barrels of oil equivalent of possible oil and gas resources. Even considering it all, you'll probably say, why would anyone ever want to move to a remote ice island? You might be right, but one of the main concerns of the future is fresh water. This is where Greenland steps in as a major player. While most of the world could lose its fresh water supply, here it would even then be in abundance. The idea of Greenland booming in a way the United Arab Emirates jumped has its citizens optimistic about the future, but not all is bright. Greenlandic population is only 56,000 people, mostly indigenous Inuit people. That population cannot withstand the amount of unqualified and qualified workers which would be needed for those mines, platforms, transport, logistics, and more. A high rate of immigration would be needed, and it would quickly overshadow the native population, which could end up being forgotten by the interests of the big companies. The fact is, over time, more of these mines will be discovered, and once it becomes very profitable due to less ice and warmer temperatures, Greenland will eventually be on its way to a powerhouse with its vast resources, including nearly endless freshwater supply.